What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be walking around in the neighborhood and showing you how lonely life can get if you move to the United States or Canada. It's almost the same thing. And what you're going to see here is almost the same, unless you live in the city, but of which most immigrants don't get to live in the city because it's expensive. So you have to live in the suburbs or the villages. And then you could be working in the city, but then you have to it's too expensive to live in the city. Yeah, and so as an immigrant, you don't want to be living in an expensive place. But what I want to show you here is how lonely the life can get. Yeah, so let's get started. So this is kind of like a mini library for the village. If you live around here, you can come and borrow books, or if you have any books you don't need, you can put them here for people to borrow. Yeah, it's a really good thing. So this is how the streets look like. I'm pretty sure for this walk that I'm going to take, I am not going to meet anyone, and that's what happens here. The life around here is an outdoor kind of an indoor kind of life as compared to the lives in Africa, which are outdoor lives. The lives here are basically indoor lives. So that means that anything you do, you can do it inside, and then it's hard to find someone outside. Just everyone stays indoors. You could stay inside your house for a whole month and get everything you need for the whole month without coming outside the house. I never knew I could do something like that, but trust me, there's nothing you're going to do outside, so there's no people outside. I will attach more videos of me driving around, and you'll see. You only come across maybe one or two people walking around, maybe exercising, but then finding people just outside doing nothing, that's a really hard thing. So if you are not used to something like that, life is going to get really lonely, and it's easy to get depressed. For someone like me who is an introvert, it didn't come as a shock, because again, by the time I came here, I was used to living alone and staying in my room all day. But so I kind of prepared myself for this. But if you are not prepared for this kind of lifestyle, it's going to be really hard for you to adjust, because there's no one to talk to. You don't even know your neighbors. Everything is you have to just stay inside. Everything you need is indoors. Everything indoors. These houses might look small, but everything you need, you will find it inside the house. Everything you need inside the house. They're designed that way. Really expensive houses, but that's the life. That's the life here. It's just an indoor life. It gets lonely sometimes. I live at an apartment building, but I can tell you I've lived there for almost a year. But I don't even know my neighbors, and they don't know me. And I've lived there for a whole year. And yeah, so they don't know me, I don't know them. And life goes on like that every day. And no one seems to care, you know? No one seems to care. Even if you needed something from your neighbor, you can't just show up. You have to call them in advance. You can't just show up. See how lonely the streets are? I haven't met anyone. And I've been walking out here for, 5 minutes now? And I promise you, I'm not going to meet anyone. The most I can meet is maybe one person or two who are exercising. The other thing you will notice is that every house has at least 2 cars. Every house has at least 2 cars. That's for each person staying in the house, maybe the man and the woman. Because like living here, you really need to get a car. So for people who are planning to come here, you need to prepare yourself for that. You know, you need to prepare yourself for that kind of lifestyle, because like everything around here revolves around if you need anything, you need to be able to drive, because we don't have borders, we don't have the taxis are here, but it's much cheaper if you drive yourself. And like cars are not really expensive. Like you could buy a used car. I remember my first car was only $499, and I only had to work a few days to make that money. So lucky enough, I had my Ugandan license. And that's another thing. If you're like planning to come here, you need to, it's much easier if you come with a license from your country, because you could use that for I think up to a year while processing a driving license for the state you're living in. You could use the one from your home country. So, and it makes life much easier for you. Trust me, people, if you live in the suburbs, I mean, unless you live in the city, you don't need a car. But if you live outside the city, because I mean, living in the city with a car is even much expensive, because you have to pay for parking and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't live in the city, you really need to get yourself one. So yeah, like I promised you, I am walking back to my car now. I'm out here walking with this guy, Klaus. Yeah. So yeah, what was I saying? You really need to get your driving license. That's like the first thing you should work on, because it's a game changer. It's a game changer for you when you come here. Yeah. Maybe on Sundays you could find a few kids playing here, playing basketball on the street. But even on Sundays, it's hard to find people outside. I mean, during the summer you could find some people outside. I think it's also because of the weather, because you can't really be outside in the cold. You'd rather be inside. Yeah, but you have to prepare for this. Life will get lonely. Life will get tough. And if you are not strong, you're gonna get depressed. This life is not made for extroverts. It's made for introverts like me. Yeah. As you can see, it's been 8 minutes now. I've only met one person outside. 8 minutes of walking.